chosen one. A high-stakes investigation has backfired spectacularly on those seeking your ruin. A private detective stalked you, and what they found out is outrageous. They were hired by a family member to manufacture dirt and disqualify you from your inheritance, but the evidence gathered has vindicated you instead. Your accuser has been playing a role for a long time. This person has been building an image. This person has been cultivating sympathy. This person has been positioning themselves as the devoted caregiver who sacrificed everything. Your accuser became the one who stayed when everyone else walked away. This person became the one who earned the right to inherit. This persona was crafted with precision. Every tear was calculated. Every story was rehearsed. Every moment of seeming grief was performed for maximum effect. People believed it because it was consistent. The performance was convincing. The act was carefully maintained over months or even years. But underneath that carefully constructed facade lived something cold. Something willing to do whatever it takes existed beneath the surface. Someone saw an opportunity and decided to seize it. Someone got close to a person with assets not out of love, but out of access. Someone became indispensable, not to help, but to control. And once access was secured, once trust was established, once dependency was created, the plan went into motion. The plan wasn't about care, it was about extraction. It wasn't about help, it was about harm. It wasn't about devotion, it was about destruction. The sickness wasn't natural, the decline wasn't inevitable, the suffering wasn't random bad health, it was induced. Your accuser withheld medications when needed. Your accuser introduced harmful substances in small doses over time. Your accuser sabotaged treatments in ways that looked like normal complications, just enough to cause symptoms without raising immediate suspicion, just enough to create steady decline without triggering investigation, just enough to make death seem like a tragic but expected outcome. And through it all, your accuser played the exhausted caregiver. Your accuser played the overwhelmed family member. Your accuser played the heartbroken witness to unavoidable decline. You were always part of this plan, not as a beneficiary. You were cast as a scapegoat. Your absence became their weapon. Your distance became their proof. Your normal life became their evidence that you didn't care. Every family gathering you couldn't attend was framed as you never showing up. Every missed call while you were working was painted as you being unreachable. Every financial contribution you sent was twisted into guilt rather than love. Your accuser needed someone to blame if questions arose. Your accuser needed someone whose relationship could be reframed as opportunistic. Your accuser needed someone whose lack of daily presence could be weaponized as abandonment. The detective found something else that changes everything. The detective found the real will. The detective found the actual legal document with original signatures and proper witnessing. It's different from the version your accuser has been showing family members. Very different. The authentic will contains personal notes from the deceased. The will contains explanations about why certain decisions were made. The will contains specific language about recognizing genuine relationship versus performative presence. The will contains clear statements about who demonstrated real love versus who was physically present but emotionally transactional. Your name appears with intention. Your name appears with affection. Your name appears with detailed reasoning about why you deserve what was left to you. Your accuser has been circulating an altered version. It's not legally binding, but it's convincing enough to plant doubt. It's convincing enough to make people question the authentic will. It's convincing enough to build a case for legal contestation. Your accuser spread stories about how the real will must have been written under duress. Your accuser claimed the deceased wasn't thinking clearly. Your accuser suggested you must have exerted undue influence somehow. Groundwork was being laid to challenge everything in court. The detective's report was supposed to provide the ammunition. Your accuser wanted official documentation that you're unworthy. Your accuser wanted proof that you're unreliable. Your accuser wanted suspicious evidence that could actually hold up during litigation. Instead, what got documented is a comprehensive dismantling of every lie. The report contains point-by-point refutation of every accusation. The report contains timeline analysis proving impossibility. The report contains financial records showing where the real motive lived. The report contains communication history demonstrating your authentic relationship versus their transactional approach. The report contains character evidence from multiple sources confirming your genuine connection to the deceased. And most damning of all, the report contains indicators suggesting the death itself warrants investigation. This isn't just a report clearing your name, this is a prosecution roadmap. The investigator also uncovered search history on your accuser's devices. The detective found queries about undetectable substances. The detective found research on medication interactions. The detective found searches about symptoms that mimic natural causes. The detective found information seeking about detection timeframes. The detective found questions about what triggers official investigations into suspicious deaths. These searches date back to before the severe decline even began, long before the final days. This wasn't panic, this was research, this was planning, this was preparation for something unthinkable. While all this plotting was happening, while this elaborate frame was being constructed, you were living your life. You were completely unaware of the scheme forming around you. You were working, you were managing responsibilities. You were going about your days with no idea that someone was systematically destroying your reputation behind your back. Someone was creating a narrative where you were the villain. Someone was building a case to cut you out of your inheritance. Someone was setting you up to take blame for a crime you didn't commit. But something was watching over you. Something was blocking their plans at every turn. Something was preserving evidence your accuser thought was hidden. Something was positioning the right investigator to uncover truth instead of manufacturing lies. You call it divine protection. Some call it the universe. Others call it karma. Whatever name you give it, the force was active. The force was working in shadows you couldn't see. The force was arranging circumstances you didn't orchestrate. The force was protecting you in ways you won't fully understand until you look back and see how perfectly everything aligned. If this message hits your spirit, hype this video so more chosen ones like you can find it. This is what happens when you're chosen. This is what happens when you're marked for purpose. This is what happens when you carry light that threatens those living in darkness. Weapons get formed against you, schemes get plotted, lies get told, traps get set, but none of it prospers, none of it succeeds, none of it accomplishes what it was designed to do, because you're covered by something bigger than human manipulation. You're protected by forces that turn evil intentions back on those who sent them. You're shielded by cosmic justice that makes sure innocence doesn't get punished for crimes committed by the guilty. You might have felt something recently. You might have experienced a strange sense of calm you couldn't quite explain. You might have felt peace in a situation that should be creating anxiety. You might have felt confidence about an outcome you have no logical reason to be confident about. That feeling wasn't wishful thinking. That was your spirit recognizing what was happening in realms you can't see with physical eyes. That was your intuition picking up on the shift. That was your soul understanding that protection is active and justice is in motion. Trust that feeling. It's confirmation that you're exactly where you need to be. This investigator isn't some noble truth seeker. Personal secrets exist, shady dealings in the past, vulnerabilities that can be exploited. Your accuser didn't hire this person randomly. Research was done. Someone was found who could be controlled, someone with leverage points, someone who couldn't afford to make powerful enemies or attract official attention. Blackmail was part of the arrangement from the beginning. Do the job, deliver the desired results, or face exposure of past misdeeds. License revocation, business shutdown, possibly worse consequences. So this detective has been trapped between terrible options: falsify evidence against an innocent person and become an accessory to murder, live with that weight forever while keeping personal secrets safe, or tell the truth and face consequences for past actions, lose everything built on questionable foundations, potentially end up in legal trouble. Neither path is clean, neither choice is easy. Hours have been spent in that car trying to calculate which option leads to less destruction. But something shifted recently. Your accuser got desperate. Phone calls became too frequent. Questions became too specific. Pressure intensified for particular results. And in that desperation, too much got revealed. Confirmation came that this isn't about family disputes or protecting legacies. This is about covering up murder, and when you're being blackmailed by someone guilty of that level of crime, the power dynamic isn't what it seems, because if that person goes down, everyone gets dragged along, including the detective, which means the best survival strategy isn't keeping secrets, it's making a deal with authorities before the entire conspiracy collapses. The investigator is realizing something crucial right now. Playing both sides doesn't work when one side is willing to sacrifice anyone to save themselves. Protecting a murderer doesn't guarantee safety. It guarantees permanent vulnerability. That person will always have leverage, always be able to threaten, always own you. But exposing the truth and cooperating with authorities opens a different door, the possibility of immunity. Trading information for leniency, getting out from under control before it's too late. This isn't about morality for the detective, it's about survival, self-preservation, a calculated business decision about which path offers the best outcome. And ironically, that selfish motivation is going to result in your vindication. The universe works in mysterious ways sometimes, using broken people to accomplish divine justice, turning weapons formed against you into instruments of your elevation. I must interrupt this transmission for just a moment. Are you really chosen? Prove it. It's easy to watch videos about chosen ones. It's another thing to put yourself to the test. If you're still here, that means something, but talk is cheap. Real chosen ones take action. That's why I built Destiny Engine. It generates personalized sequences that help you rewire betrayal into transcendence, turn isolation into sacred power, and transform their downfall into your rise. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that programmed competition and scarcity and repurposing it to serve divine justice. You put on the headphones, press play, and watch your enemies choke on the rope their own lies created. If you're done consuming and ready to prove you're chosen, start your Destiny Engine for $1 today. Join the Obsidian Inner Order live checks and watch divine justice accelerate in your life. Link in the description. Your accuser can feel something changing. The investigator isn't responding the way expected. Hesitation enters conversations. Vagueness replaces specific updates. Delays happen where there should be progress reports. Something is off. Energy has shifted, and someone guilty always knows when walls start closing in. Panic is setting in, even though official action hasn't been announced yet. Desperate measures are starting, more aggressive demands, louder threats, reminders about the leverage that exists. But these tactics only work when the person being threatened believes they have something to lose by defying you. The moment the detective realizes danger exists either way, the moment understanding dawns that a murderer will sacrifice anyone to avoid consequences, those threats lose their power. Fear transforms into motivation for a different choice. Mistakes are being made now, small contradictions in conversations, forgetting which version of the story was told to which person, getting defensive about simple questions. These are the tells. The signs of someone whose lies are becoming too complex to maintain. The evidence of someone who knows exposure is coming and can't quite hide the fear anymore. Your accuser is also doing something revealing, suddenly talking about letting things go, how fighting over money is beneath everyone, how peace is more important than inheritance, how maybe the will should just be accepted as written. This is reputation management, trying to appear magnanimous before being exposed as malicious. attempting to create the appearance of reconciliation so later claims of misunderstanding seem plausible. But it's too late. The investigation is complete, evidence is compiled, authorities are already involved. Attempts to seem like the bigger person now just look like someone who knows they're about to be caught. Let me tell you the specific discoveries that sealed your accuser's fate. Bank records showing large withdrawals labeled as medical expenses that don't match actual medical bills. Money going out consistently, but not arriving where it was supposed to. The detective followed that trail and found personal accounts, luxury purchases, debt payments unrelated to caregiving. Someone wasn't just stealing from a person who trusted them. Someone was funding an entire lifestyle on money meant for medical treatment. Pharmacy records revealed prescriptions being filled but medications never administered, pills purchased but not given to the patient, treatments paid for but not provided. The medicine that could have helped was being withheld while something else was being introduced. Cross-referencing purchase records with symptom timelines revealed the pattern. Every time certain items were bought, new symptoms appeared within days. Every time specific medications were withheld, decline accelerated. The correlation is too consistent to be coincidental. Communications paint an even darker picture. Messages to others complaining about waiting, frustration about how long things are taking, impatience about needing the situation to resolve faster. When these communications get lined up with the medical timeline, something chilling emerges. Every complaint about waiting preceded a health crisis. Every expression of impatience came right before sudden decline. Every mention of being tired of this was followed by emergency situations. Someone wasn't just waiting for death, someone was orchestrating it. The investigator also found pattern evidence. This isn't the first time your accuser has done something like this. Maybe not murder before, maybe not this extreme, but manipulation for gain, exploitation of trust, lies that served selfish purposes. Other people were used. Other situations involved taking advantage of vulnerability. Other instances demonstrated the same character operating in the same way. This establishes that what happened wasn't an isolated incident. This is who your accuser is, how they operate, their consistent approach to the world. Right now, authorities are starting their process quietly. No public announcements, no dramatic arrests, just careful evidence gathering, additional witness interviews, building an airtight case. And during this phase, your accuser is going to feel pressure without knowing exactly where it's coming from. Questions will be asked, records will be requested, people will be contacted, and each step will increase the anxiety. Each inquiry will confirm fears. Each official action will tighten the grip. Attempts will be made to figure out what's happening, who's talking, what's been said. Confrontations might occur, accusations of betrayal might fly, drama might be created to distract from the real issue. This is what guilty people do when cornered. Lashing out, deflecting, creating chaos, hoping it will obscure truth. But investigators don't get distracted by theatrics. Evidence gets followed, and evidence leads one direction, straight to guilt. During this time, you need to do something that might feel counterintuitive. Stay out of it. Don't insert yourself into the investigation. Don't try to help unless specifically asked by authorities. Don't discuss it with family members. Don't post about it anywhere public. Don't give your accuser any ammunition to claim you're orchestrating a vendetta. Let professionals do their work. Let evidence speak for itself. Let truth unfold without your fingerprints on the process. Your vindication will be more powerful when it's clear you didn't have to fight for it, when it's obvious that justice found you rather than you chasing justice. Other people are starting to notice inconsistencies too, not because anyone told them, but because lies eventually contradict themselves. Your accuser has been telling the same stories for so long that variations are creeping in. Details change between tellings, timelines shift, facts get confused. People who've heard multiple versions are starting to compare notes. Questions are arising, wondering why the story keeps morphing if it's based in truth. This is the beginning of social collapse. Before legal consequences arrive, social ones come first. Before freedom gets lost, credibility evaporates. What's about to happen isn't going to be quiet or private. Your vindication won't be a subtle acknowledgement that maybe people were wrong about you. It's going to be complete, public, undeniable. The same people who whispered about you will be talking about what really happened. Public, the same family members who took the other side will be apologizing. The same community that questioned your character will understand you were targeted by something evil. Your name doesn't just get cleared, it gets elevated. Because surviving an attack like this, walking through false accusations like this, emerging victorious from a conspiracy like this, that doesn't make you look weak, it makes you look protected, it makes you look chosen, it makes you look like someone the universe refuses to let fall. People will see what you survived and recognize something beyond luck. Something beyond coincidence, something that proves you carry favor. Your accuser will lose everything, not just the inheritance, not just property or money, everything. Freedom when arrested, reputation when truth spreads, relationships when people realize they've been manipulated, future when convicted, peace when left alone with what was done. Someone killed for gain and ended up with total loss, schemed for wealth and ended up with poverty, manipulated for power and ended up powerless. That's not you being vindictive, that's consequences, that's justice, that's the universe restoring balance. But let's talk about what happens to you after the dust settles. After investigation concludes, after trial ends, after sentencing occurs, after inheritance is secured, after your name is cleared beyond any doubt, you don't just return to normal life as if nothing happened. You step into a completely different level of existence because you've been tested in fire and emerged as gold, attacked by darkness and remained light, lied about and proven truthful, targeted for destruction and ended up elevated. The inheritance you receive is going to be bigger than money. Yes, you're getting what was left to you. Yes, you're receiving the property and assets and financial legacy, but you're also receiving authority, credibility, a testimony, a story of protection and vindication that will open doors you never knew existed. People will see what you survived and want to know how. They'll hear about what was done to you and ask what kept you standing. They'll witness your vindication and recognize something divine at work. This attack wasn't random. This scheme wasn't just about someone else's greed. This was a setup that forced you to discover your own strength, a trial that revealed your protection, a battle that proved your purpose. You didn't ask for it. You didn't deserve it. You did nothing to warrant being targeted like this, but you were chosen for it, because not everyone can walk through fire without burning. Not everyone can face false accusations without breaking. Not everyone can watch enemies plot and still sleep peacefully, but you can. Because you're built differently, covered differently, destined for different outcomes. Now you carry something precious, knowledge that you're protected even when you don't know you're under attack. Confidence that truth will always surface, no matter how deeply buried. Certainty that what's meant for you will reach you, despite every obstacle placed in the way. Proof that enemies defeat themselves when they come against someone chosen. You don't have to live in fear anymore. You don't have to worry about schemes. You don't have to defend yourself against lies. Because you've seen how it ends, you've watched it play out, you've experienced vindication, and you know without doubt that the universe has your back. What was left to you represents more than financial value. It represents recognition, validation, proof that someone saw your worth, even when others didn't, proof that your relationship mattered, proof that love and presence aren't measured by physical proximity alone. Your accuser wanted to take that from you, not just the assets, but the meaning behind them, the message that you were valued, the acknowledgement that you mattered, the confirmation that you deserved to be remembered. But none of that could be stolen. That validation can't be erased. That recognition can't be rewritten. That love can't be corrupted. And when you receive what was meant for you, it won't feel like winning a fight. It will feel like receiving a gift that was always yours, a message from beyond saying you were seen, you were loved, you were valued. You might feel something unexpected when watching your accuser's downfall unfold. Not satisfaction exactly, maybe sadness, maybe pity, maybe exhaustion at how far someone was willing to go for things that don't ultimately matter. Looking at their destruction might bring a sense of wasted potential, the tragedy of someone who had opportunities and chose corruption, the sadness of watching someone destroy themselves for temporary gain. That feeling is okay. That's your humanity. That's your heart being bigger than their actions deserved. Don't mistake that compassion for weakness. You can acknowledge someone's humanity while accepting that consequences must be faced, but don't let compassion create doubt about what needs to happen. Justice isn't cruelty. Consequences aren't revenge. Accountability isn't persecution. What's coming for your accuser is the natural result of choices made. Harm was chosen, theft was chosen, lies were chosen, framing an innocent person was chosen. Now experiencing what happens when those choices catch up. You didn't cause this, you didn't orchestrate this, you didn't manipulate this, you were simply protected from it. And there's a massive difference between being protected from harm and causing harm to others. That detective in the car made their choice. Evidence was handed over. Investigation began. Your accuser faced exposure, and you're walking into everything that's been prepared for you. But the real power isn't in watching your enemy fall. The real power is recognizing that you never needed them to fall for you to rise. You were always going to receive your inheritance. You were always going to be vindicated. You were always going to walk in your purpose. Their scheme didn't determine your outcome. It only revealed your protection. So carry yourself like someone who already won, because you did. The moment someone decided to come against you, that person sealed their own fate. The moment that detective got hired, the witness who would expose everything got positioned. The moment you got framed, the case against the real criminal got built. Every move made to destroy you became a move that destroyed them instead, and you didn't have to lift a finger. You didn't have to fight back. You didn't have to defend yourself. You just had to keep living, keep walking, keep trusting, and let the universe handle the rest. The grave that was dug for you, your accuser is standing in it now. The trap that was set for you, it closed around them instead. The evidence that was supposed to condemn you, it exists against them. The investigation that was supposed to destroy you, coming for them now. The detective that was hired to frame you, working to expose them now. Every single weapon formed against you didn't just fail, it reversed. And that's what happens when you're protected. That's what happens when you're chosen. That's what happens when you walk in purpose and truth and divine alignment. You don't just survive attacks, you watch attackers destroy themselves trying to harm you. Stand in your power, chosen one. Not because you're without fault, but because you're covered by grace. Not because you're perfect, but because you're purposed. Not because you earned this protection, but because it was given to you before you were born. Before this situation arose, before this enemy made their move, you were already marked as someone the universe protects, someone darkness cannot overcome, someone lies cannot destroy. This whole situation is proof of what you've always been: chosen, protected, victorious. The detective found the truth, and the truth is, you were never in danger. You were always going to win. Your accuser was always going to fall. That's not hope, that's certainty, that's not faith, that's fact. Welcome to your vindication. The universe has been waiting to give it to you. Stand tall, receive what's yours. Know that you've been proven as someone who survives what was meant to destroy you. That's not just victory. That's testimony, that's power, that's proof of your purpose. The grave they dug became their own, and you walk free. The detective is going to reach out to authorities, quietly at first, carefully, through back channels, feeling out what kind of deal the detective can make. The detective is going to present evidence in a way that protects them while exposing your accuser, and the authorities are going to be very interested, because what this detective has isn't just evidence, it's a roadmap to conviction, it's documentation that connects all the dots, it's proof that turns suspicion into certainty. Your accuser is going to sense something's wrong before anything official happens. Your accuser is going to feel the energy shift. Your accuser is going to feel the walls closing in. Your accuser is going to feel the net tightening. And your accuser is going to try to take preemptive action. Suddenly, your accuser is going to become very generous with you, very accommodating. Your accuser is going to reach out with offers. Your accuser is going to reach out with apologies that don't quite make sense. Your accuser is going to reach out with attempts to smooth things over. Your accuser might offer to split the inheritance differently. Your accuser might suggest forgetting about the whole investigation. Your accuser might even act like a spiritual awakening happened and amends need to be made. Don't fall for it. Don't let their panic make you doubt what you know. Your accuser is not having a change of heart. Your accuser is trying to create plausible deniability. Your accuser is trying to make it look like any conflict was resolved amicably, so that when the truth comes out, your accuser can claim it was all a misunderstanding. But it's too late for that. The wheels are already in motion. The investigation your accuser started to destroy you is about to destroy them instead. You're about to be vindicated in a way that leaves no room for doubt, not just cleared of accusations, but proven innocent beyond any question, not just defended, but elevated. Because when the full truth comes out, people are going to realize that you were the target of something truly evil, and their sympathy, their support, their understanding is going to shift dramatically in your direction. Your accuser is going to face consequences that match the severity of their crimes, not because you're seeking revenge, not because you're vindictive, but because the universe demands balance, because justice requires accountability, because evil cannot be allowed to triumph without response. Your accuser is going to lose the very things they killed for. The inheritance your accuser wanted will be taken from them. The property your accuser coveted will be redistributed. The money your accuser schemed for will go to legal fees and restitution. Everything your accuser did was for nothing. Worse than nothing, it was their own destruction. Your accuser built an entire identity on being the martyr. Your accuser built an identity on being the survivor. Your accuser built an identity on being the one who endured, and all of that is about to be revealed as performance. All of that will be revealed as manipulation. All of that will be revealed as a mask hiding a murderer. People are going to look back on every tear your accuser cried and wonder if it was real. People will look at every story your accuser told and question if it was true. People will examine every moment of seeming grief and recognize it as guilt wearing a disguise. The same people who believed your accuser are going to feel betrayed. The same people who supported your accuser are going to feel used. The same people who defended your accuser are going to feel foolish, and the reversal is going to be total. The reversal will be complete. The reversal will be absolute. Your accuser won't just lose credibility. Your accuser will lose freedom. Your accuser won't just face judgment. Your accuser will face imprisonment. Your accuser won't just be exposed. Your accuser will be made an example of, and your accuser is going to have to live with what was done. Your accuser is going to have to face themselves in the mirror, knowing they murdered someone they claim to love. Your accuser is going to have to carry that weight for the rest of their lives. Prison or not, your accuser is already sentenced to a hell of their own making. Because when you take a life for material gain, when you betray someone who trusted you, when you try to destroy an innocent person to cover your tracks, you create a spiritual debt that can never be fully repaid. You're going to walk through this fire without even the smell of smoke on your clothes. You're going to emerge from this attack stronger, wiser, and more blessed than before, because that's what happens when you're protected by divine purpose. The same storms that destroy others establish you. The same trials that break others build you. The same attacks that defeat others elevate you. This situation is temporary. The accusations will fade, the investigation will conclude, the truth will be established, but your calling is permanent, your purpose is eternal, your worth is unshakable. Your accuser tried to reduce you to a conflict, your accuser tried to reduce you to a court case, your accuser tried to reduce you to a family drama. But you're so much more than that. You're a chosen one, walking in divine purpose. You're a light in this world that darkness cannot comprehend or overcome. And when this is over, when you're standing in your vindication, when the inheritance that's rightfully yours is in your hands, when your accuser is facing their judgment, you're going to use this experience. You're going to transform this pain into purpose. You're going to turn this testimony into ministry. You're going to help others who are going through similar attacks. You're going to be the voice of encouragement for someone who's being falsely accused. That detective sitting in the car right now, struggling with their decision, doesn't know it yet, but the detective is about to be part of your redemption story. The detective's crisis of conscience is divinely orchestrated. The detective's hesitation is spiritually induced. The detective's decision to expose the truth is cosmic intervention, working through human free will. Everything is working together for your good, even the evil, even the lies, even the attacks. It's all being woven into a narrative of victory that will inspire everyone who hears it. So stand strong, chosen one. The breakthrough is closer than you think. The vindication is imminent. The justice is guaranteed, not because you're perfect, but because you're protected, not because you're powerful, but because you're purposed, not because you're without fault, but because you're covered by grace. That person sitting in the car with those documents is about to change your life by telling the truth. Your accuser's world is about to crumble because your accuser built it on lies, and you're about to step into a new season of blessing that's been waiting for you all along. The private detective found out the truth, and the truth is setting